Call the hearing to order.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Amy, have you taken roll call?
Yeah.
So this is a public hearing regarding the proposed resolution for the Belgium Cold Springs Fire District to authorize meetings utilizing special video conferencing procedures in accordance with Open Meetings Law 103A 2A. All fire districts must, prior to the adoption of the resolution to authorize meetings utilizing special video conferencing procedures, hold a public hearing. This public hearing must be held in such a manner to maximize participation in the process. The purpose of this hearing is to discuss the resolution to utilize video conferencing procedures. The Secretary of the Fire District has filed with the district an affidavit showing that the notice of this public hearing was published or posted at least 10 days before the date specified for the hearing in the Syracuse Post-Standard, the official bulletin board of the Town of Lysander, the official bulletin board of the Fire District, the website of the Town of Lysander, the website of the Fire District. The public notice of public hearing specified the time and date, when, and the place where this public hearing will be held. The Fire District also made available, the Secretary also made available for inspection at least 5 days before the public hearing by any interested person during district office hours, copies of the proposed resolution to utilize video conferencing procedures. The purpose of this public hearing is to allow members of the public to make comments on the resolution to utilize video conferencing procedures. Any person may be heard in favor of or against the resolution to utilize video conferencing. Please note that this is only a proposed resolution until the Board of Fire Commissioners adopts the resolution for video conference. Prior to the public comment portion, we will make a brief presentation about the resolution, and I will do that right now. This is a brief summary, rather than reading the whole resolution. During COVID, remote meetings were held under emergency declaration. That special rule ended in September. However, the overall rules were actually changed earlier in the year by a legislative amendment. Now, in order to hold meetings by video conferencing, we need to hold a public hearing and then pass a resolution that will allow us to hold meetings by video conferencing. Only then can a member of the board who is physically unable to attend due to disability, illness, caregiving responsibilities, or any other significant or unexpected factor. Should we get into another declared emergency, we would then rely on executive orders to spell out procedures during that time. A copy of the resolution has been provided, but to summarize, virtual meetings will only take place under extraordinary circumstances, physically unable to attend due to disability, illness, caregiving responsibilities, or other significant unexpected factor. The commissioners must be heard, seen, and identified while the meeting is being conducted, except during executive session. It is required that any meeting where a member attends via video conference, the meeting is recorded. It needs to be posted on the webpage within 5 business days and transcribed upon request. It's also required that members of the public will be permitted to attend and participate, if authorized, in any meeting by video conference when a member attends by video conference. A quorum must be present at one or more locations open to the public. So there's obviously lots of things we would have to do if we chose to hold a meeting by video conference or chose to have a member not here. Board members, according to the resolution as written, it can be further defined by written procedures. The procedures have also been provided, but we will summarize. Board members shall be physically present at meetings unless unable to physically present themselves due to extraordinary circumstances as described. If a member is unable to physically present at one of the designated public meeting locations and wishes to participate by video conferencing from a private location, the member must notify the chairperson of the board or the fire district secretary no later than 4 days prior to the scheduled meeting in order for proper notice to be given to the public. If extraordinary circumstances present themselves on an emergent basis within 4 days of the meeting, the Board of Fire Commissioners shall update its notice as soon as practicable to include that information. If it is not practicable for the Cold Springs Fire District to update its notice, the Board of Fire Commissioners may reschedule its meeting. If there is a quorum of members participating at a physical location open to the public, the Board of Fire Commissioners may properly convene a meeting. A member who is participating from a remote location that is not open to in-person physical attendance by the public shall not count towards the quorum. But they may participate and vote if there is a quorum of members at a physical location open to the public. Commissioners shall ensure its members can be seen, heard, and identified while the meeting is being conducted. And for members participating via video conferencing, this means their first, full, and last name appear on the video conferencing screen. The minutes shall include which, if any members are participating via video conferencing. The public notice shall provide that the video conferencing is being utilized and where the public can view or participate in such meeting. Where required documents and records will be posted and available in the physical location of the meeting where the public can attend. A meeting using video conferencing shall be recorded and posted or linked on the Belgium Cold Springs website within 5 business days following the meeting. Such recordings will be transcribed upon request. If board members are authorized to participate from a private location due to the extraordinary circumstances, the Board of Fire Commissioners shall provide the opportunity for the public to view such meetings and participate and or comment as authorized as an in-person meeting. Open meetings of Board of Fire Commissioners that are conducted using video conferencing shall utilize technology to permit access by the members of the public with disabilities consistent with ADA guidelines. The in-person requirements of the open meetings law shall not apply during a state disaster emergency declared by the governor or locally by the chief executive of the city, county, village, or town. So there's lots of hoops that we need to jump through if we want to do video conferencing. So the public comment period will begin. I'll ask any person present who may wish to be heard on this proposed resolution in favor or against the proposed resolution. To now comment, I request that if you wish to address the board on the proposed resolution, you raise your hand and be recognized. Clearly state your name and address for the record. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. Direct all questions to the Board of Fire Commissioners. And there again, this is not a question and answer period. This is strictly a time where the public gets to make their comments in favor or against this proposed resolution. Okay, anybody have comments? Barb.
I do have a comment. My name is Barbara Raymond LaPreeze. I live at 3409 Patchett Road, Baldwinsville. I'm not overly excited about this because I can see this being abused. However, I also feel that you guys have to be prepared. Do you have a Zoom account? Do you have an extra camera that you can set up in a room like this that would be hooked up so that the person on the back end would be, whoever's on the video conference would be seen, because then you'd also have to project it and everything else. So you need to be prepared to do those types of things, and if you haven't already done it, those are things you're going to need to have. And as I say, I'm not overly excited about it because I can see it being abused.
Well, we are, we understand that there are so many complications, but we also, at least myself, you know, what if we get in a situation where it's important that we have this meeting and so-and-so wants to participate, he's home with COVID, he can't participate. We want to have the opportunity to move forward if we need to. I question how it would be abused because it states that it's an extraordinary circumstance. You know, I mean, I mentioned here last month or the month before on vacation. Well, that isn't going to cut it. It's an extraordinary circumstance, sickness or whatever. Anybody else have a comment? Maybe the commissioners have a comment.
So if I'm unable to attend, and let me just ask this, if I'm unable to attend, I have COVID or whatever it happens to be, and I can't make it to the meeting, I have to be in a public place. So
Not
how,
necessarily.
that's what it said in there, it says I have to be in a place where the public can attend.
Unless there's a reason why it can't be open. And then if it can't be open, we still have to provide means for the public to conference in.
The way I read it is it's.
Because there's the section that talks about if you're in a private location, or if you have COVID, nobody else can be in there with you.
Right, so
So
it's
it's-
a public location, and then it has to be, you have to be notified, so there has to be notification of where that is also. So, yes, it has to have the notifications that it's here, but what if I want to meet down at Joe's Bar and Grill? That's a public location. Do we have to send that notification out? How does that work?
From private location due to extraordinary circumstances.
Well, the law that existed prior to COVID said that if someone wanted to video in, suppose they were in Florida on vacation and they wanted to video in, that location had to be available to the public. His hotel room or his, you know, he could go to the library or whatever, that had to be open to the public. But the law has changed, and I don't believe that that provision is still there.
No. It's number 9 on the procedures.
Last page.
On the last page, if the member of the Board of Fire Commissioners are authorized to participate by video conferencing from a private location due to extraordinary circumstances, the Board of Fire Commissioners shall provide the opportunity for members of the public to view such meeting by video.
A view by video, meaning they don't have to be able to go there.
So as long as they can view it, whether they're in the same location or not, we still have to provide the video feed.
Okay.
And they have to be able to comment and participate as authorized in a regular open meeting.
Well, and there again, if we have a question where we can't gel it and we can't make sure that we know, we don't have to pass this tonight.
It was just something that came up, you know, again, if questions are questions.
Yeah. But we can discuss that when on the agenda item for tonight's meeting. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing. Mike Malone. Charlie, seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. All right. So. So, we'll call the meeting to order. We can dispense with the pledge to the flag. We've already done that once tonight. We have the minutes of the January 18th meeting have been distributed. Can a motion to approve those minutes? Mike Malone, Mike Tura, second. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, treasurer's report, Bill Dwyer.
Okay, first we'll do the codes, single sheet. Top of the page is the assets. The bottom is the, we do have a voucher for codes. And on the back page is the checking savings account. There was no checking activity, therefore there's nothing there other than the balance. And the bottom half there under the savings, you see the BCS contribution to codes, that's for 2022. The one I sent in 2022, for some reason, went to the fire department. And I got that check back from the fire department and then submitted it January. So that 1,500 is really 2002's money. We haven't contributed this year's money yet. And before we get into the other one, I forgot, there's 2 credit card vouchers, 1 code, 1 overtime, and 50 district vouchers. Okay, now for the district one, the front page is a little different. It's the assets at the top, which you normally see just that top third. I added a second middle one showing the tax receipts have been received. But you wouldn't get that until next month. So I wanted to print that out to show you that the tax receipts were received and deposited, 1 million there. And then at the bottom is the accounts payable. Signs vouchers. Okay, next 2 pages are the budget versus the actual. This is for January, the end of January.
Bill,
Yep.
your first set of figures here,
Uh-oh.
you have reserve fund capital improvements is 661,000. And below, it's capital improvements 803.
Yes.
Is that because you made the deposit from the 2022 money?
Yes, it's the, because I deposited the tax receipts in, I could now deposit our fund balance money, the 241,000.
Yeah.
We had 100,000 went into the equipment and 141 went into the, capital improvement.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. 400,000. Okay. The budget versus actual is there. Next page is the previous year comparison. And again, that only lists them if there's, because that's only a one pager. If there wasn't anything in there to compare it to, it didn't print it. That's why that's only one page. As the year goes on, this page will get bigger and bigger. And then next are the bank account pages. There's only one page front and back. And that does not show the deposits made from the fund balance. That won't show till next month. And the next page is the, just a short service award one. I printed the last 3 months of 2022. And then for January, I actually made 42,000. So we have $882,480 on the service award. Next page is the bonds and interest. Our first interest payment was March 15th, so that voucher is in here tonight because that's before our meeting. So you'll be signing that one, that's paid March 15th. And the referendum sheet I took out, the one that we eliminated, I think, last meeting. That whole note I had at the bottom about the station board. So we had just the four referendums, still ongoing. And also in your packet, this is what I spent my time on the last 6 weeks. You've got the AUD, the annual update document. All 37 pages of it, plus the packet of notes that go with that. It's like 15 pages there. You can peruse at your leisure. And I would ask, if you don't want them after a week, if you give them back, because I got to turn a set into the town, I got to turn a set into the auditor, and a set to Moody's. And once you've memorized it, you can give them back. Let's see what else. I think that's it.
Any questions for treasurer?
I have a question. Last month, at the last meeting, the referendums for 2023, there were 5 referendums, and it showed the equipment reserve for the radios, that the 30 radios were paid for on the 23rd of November, so that the equipment reserve was down to 7,220. Yet that doesn't show on this referendum page that's in the packet today.
Let me check.
So there's a 5th referendum for the vehicles, also, the chief's vehicles.
Obviously, you revised the wrong paper. Because I do remember that, chief, yeah, I don't, the old ones here. You are right, that, the chief's recommend.
There's the chief's vehicles, and then there's the radios also. Like that.
Yeah, is it fire or?
Person there, better.
Again.
Thank you.
Tommy, I think.
Huh?
I think Tommy's out there, Mark, Janelle.
Don't have anything else
So, Bill, you'll make the necessary corrections there.
Yep, I got me notes.
Okay, no more questions for Bill? Entertain a motion to approve, the vouchers as presented and audited. Tara, back in seconds. All in favor? Carried. Motion to approve the treasurer's report. Correct. Malone?
Okay.
LaPreece. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So, update, correction, number. Mike Malone has the bank statement review this month. Correspondence, Amy.
Yeah, I got one more thing, just if you see it. I called Verizon and got 4 of the Verizon bills to be combined. So don't panic when you see a $900 bill for Verizon. That's for 4 of them. You know, save on stamps if you want.
Okay, Amy.
The Association of Fire Districts of the State of New York has proposed a bylaws amendment. We got the information on that. Do you want to speak on that, or?
Oh, I don't know that it's necessary. The meeting, the annual meeting is in May at Turning Stone, and in order to vote, a representative of our fire district, an officer of our fire district has to be there and present to vote. And the whole amendment is basically to allow for proxy voting, so you don't have to appear at the annual meeting to physically vote. And it's
But this meeting we will, to vote, to pass.
this meeting, you have to, but hopefully if it's passed, then you won't have to appear personally to vote.
Do we want to get authority for any of the officers present to vote, depending on availability?
Yeah, we should do that. So, should we do it right now?
Do it now or do it under new business?
So I'll make the motion that any officer who is present at the annual meeting can vote for our fire district on the bylaws amendment.
In favor of the amendment?
In favor of the amendment. So I make that motion. Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
Charlie seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay.
Bill Dwyer submitted a letter. He's on, for nonprofit board participation. He's on the local National Association of Watch and Clock Collectors and also treasurer for the local and eastern states region, and both are nonprofit organizations. We received a letter that the SAFER grant application period is open. And then the town of Lysander sent notice that there's a revised land use plan. And that information has been provided to the board and to the chiefs to review. And that's all I have.
Any questions for Amy? Chief's report, Chief Root is left for a few minutes for an alarm.
He asked me if I would do his report before he,
Oh,
but if you all have any questions, you're gonna have to check with him probably.
okay. Go
Um,
ahead.
But he stated communications, we're still waiting for the chargers for the new radios. They were due in by the end of January. We sent another follow-up email and we're awaiting a new delivery date. The knock system for truck 2 has been returned and installed. The apparatus, the new chief's vehicle 1 so far has arrived and a quote for a lighting package has been received. We're awaiting engineering drawings and build specs for the rescue pumper, and that should be available in the next 2 weeks. There's no special events at this time. And I don't know if he has a report for Chief Corcoran and Chief Speech.
Okay, well, let's move on to committee reports and we can come back. Building facilities.
It's the same with Station 2's roof. Chief Root has requested permission to seek quotes for the installation of a shower at Station 2, which is now the mop closet. And he's doing that for a decon for our personnel, which is an upgrade requirement. So he'd like permission to go and get estimates and keep the building and facility committee advised when it comes back. So we can approve that part of Station 2.
You would want to make a motion now for that?
Sure, I'll make that motion.
Sure makes a motion.
No second.
Oh, Diane seconds. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried.
On the roof, I reached out to them again. He said that he would get me a revised quote. I think that was 2 weeks ago, and I never got a revised quote.
New truck committee.
New truck committee, as the chief had said, we're waiting the engineering drawings and build specs. I've been in contact with them as late as today. I think in the next 2 weeks is a little soon. I think it's going to be farther out than that. But they still hope to have the final build done with the projected time that from when we sign the contract. Also under the new truck, the chiefs went out and got estimates for lighting package for the new car. I'd like to make a motion for them to proceed to order and have them installed on the new car for the amount of $10,100. And that was already, when we purchased the car, budgeted.
So is that lights and sirens?
Yep.
So are you making that motion?
Yes.
Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Diane seconds. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? carried. Is that it, Mike?
Yeah, I get a break for 2 more committees.
Okay. Life Center Public Safety, the next meeting is March 21st. I think it's at GBAC. Budget and Finance. I don't think we
I
have.
know the report.
IT Committee.
Okay. No.
Okay.
The IT committee has met with the purchase of the new cheese cars. We were looking at getting 2 MDTs. We're waiting for prices on that and possibly upgrading them until the IT committee has more information. We're not acting on it. Our computer people are going to get back to us with their recommendations. And we're also looking into our current MDTs to improve those, that when the alarms come in, the screens actually pop up with what we need to respond, which will help us determine down the road if we need to buy additional MDTs or if it's a computer thing to assist us with alarm response and stuff. So we're looking into that.
Well, and this is also, just to add to that, it's part of, we're gonna have to start looking at a replacement plan for the MDTs. So this would start that process by replacing them in the chief's vehicles so that we're not replacing all 12 of them at once and doing it gradually.
Correct. Theoretically, with the 12 that we currently have, and due to the cost of them, if we did 3 a year with the projected 5-year life, 5 to 7 years, we'd have a continuous cycle of replacement. To make budgeting easier for the MDTs.
Personnel. Caretaker leader report. We have the caretaker leader report in our packs here. Jerry, do you have any comments?
No, not much. Going smooth, I guess.
Not much snow.
No. Couple 1 inch or so.
Any questions for Jerry?
Just a quick one on the air handler, the belts changed. Is that the one that was replaced? Is that the new units that was replaced?
No, the air handler's a separate one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure it wasn't something that was under warranty, so.
How are those new heaters working?
Good. They come on. The other ones just never come on. I don't know why. These things are sensitive to heat, the coldness. They're working really good.
So, truck maintenance, some of that is in Jerry's report, and do you have anything?
Squad 2 is going to be going to Chuck Taylor's in the future. The parts are being ordered, and due to their parking lot size, once the parts come in, we'll deliver the vehicle there for the repairs.
Okay, let's go back to Jeff, Chief Root. So, Amy gave us your report as it was written here. Do you have anything more for us?
No, I just didn't know if anybody had any questions about what we were looking to do with the shower over there.
Just number 1 was not covered.
Number 1. Oh, the chargers?
Yeah.
The radios?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have been attempting to contact them over the past few days and we haven't heard anything back as far as a new delivery date. They seemed pretty concerned the last time they gave us the delivery date that they keep falling further and further behind. And obviously they're claiming the same thing that everyone else is, material shortage. So we'll keep at it, keep trying to get a hold of them. Try to move it.
Hey, Mike, I have a question on the chief's vehicles. Are we gonna get those, that gonna get red on the bottom?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't believe we're gonna do that. No, we're just gonna put the required striping on it by NFPA.
Good.
Okay, so building maintenance.
We have a working ice machine that Jerry is very happy with.
Oh, it's installed?
Works good?
Yeah. Bigger ice cubes, they're solid, they'll hold for longer. And I guess they'll make up to 100 pounds a day if need be. So we're good for, if we need ice at the tower, we'll have it. So,
Jeff, going back to you, did you have any report for Chief B or Copeland?
No, I did not.
We've got an additional committee, the steering committee. Mike, sure, you want to report on that?
Sure. The steering committee met for its first time last Saturday, and I'm just doing a head count here.
12 people.
Thank you. 12 people
Well,
attended.
11 people attended.
11 people attended, one wasn't able to make it. And this new steering committee, the purpose is have members from all areas of the department just gather and discuss what's going on, things that don't occur either in this meeting or business meetings or any of the other special committee meetings. So there was a little history for the new members on previous communication meetings that were held. Some of the topics that were discussed are responding to alarm issues, and part of the discussions also went into asking the membership committee to help retain our people once we bring them on to the department, is to explain the requirements that are needed ahead of time, so they don't just think they have to walk in the door and that's it. It's a very lengthy and time-consuming process, and it's just to give them better information than what they're getting into. We discussed the Engine 91 and Squad 91, and we're fortunate enough to have 2 people in our department that are running that. Other topics were a bunking program and why we don't have one here. Basically, it's the facilities that we have cannot house overnight college kids. April 22nd, 23rd is Recruit New York, and the president of the department had some ideas, and there was a possible suggestion during Saturday's meeting of combining us with Seneca River and Northwest Fire at the Lysander Town Hall. Shortly before this meeting, I'll quickly summarize it. The president has reached out to the town supervisor about the town hall, and they're super receptive of having us do it there. Central location, open to the public, and is going to work with her as much as possible for this. So that was great and quick action on the president's part. Another topic was our youth program. They're going to, as the department is going to look at
getting leaders from within the department to help guide them. Dedicated leaders that stay with these youths throughout the thing. Basically another committee, but it'd be for our youth program. The president is going to try to form committees, have them posted. It's an ongoing thing. People can sign up. If they get too busy, they can take their name off. Hopefully, there'll be not one person running the committees, but maybe a chairperson that reports to the president and the body. And while the committee is in operation, they can delegate stuff. For example, pancake breakfast. You might have somebody that can't make it the whole day. They might be able to set up. They might be able to clean up. They may be able to serve, but in different time frames. So they're looking at expanding the committees with that. Again, this was a non-formal meeting. It was more of a gathering. The group that was there thought they should continue, and the recommendation was that it would be the Saturday morning at 9 a.m. following the department's business meeting. And if anybody has any interest to attend one of these, please contact Kit Thompson. And that's it for the steering committee.
Okay. Thank you. Moving into old business, policy review. I've been working on the member benefits policy, and it's pretty lengthy. You know, I don't know that we want to attack it tonight. Like you said, maybe you'd be happy to vote to the table until next meeting,
Sure.
and that's fine. In the meantime, I would,
But it's a good idea to have the steering committee take a look at it and see if there's any recommendations that they have on it also. Because it does affect the membership, so wouldn't hurt additional input.
I'll mention it to them.
Okay, thanks.
okay, so we're gonna table the member benefits. So, in our new business, the resolution to utilize video conferencing procedures. We held a public hearing a little while ago, and if we want to move forward with that, we need a motion and a second to move forward. Charlie, were you satisfied with the answer for the question that you had?
There's a lot more questions, but yes, it was.
You know, how do we feel? I mean, it's a shame not to have this tool in our toolbox, but it's a complicated tool. So how do we feel? Do we want to move forward?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you want to make that motion?
Sure.
Okay. Second? Diane, second. Okay, so the resolution is, it's printed here in our packet materials, right, Amy? The whereas and
The first page.
so on. And that we would move forward with utilizing video conferencing procedures. So we have a motion, we have a second. Further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, So, and actually, because we didn't have anybody opposed, but because it is an actual resolution, should we have a roll call vote? Okay, roll call vote. Okay, Mike Chura,
Yes.
Diane Rafkus,
Aye.
Charlie LaPriest,
Aye.
Mike Malone,
Yes.
Kip Thompson, yes. So it was unanimous. Okay, we have a request for alcohol for Massaro's Hall use for July 29 for a reception. Someone want to make that motion? Malone, Rafkus seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So we have 2 membership applications. Amy, do you have those for us?
What was
You have
that?
the membership applications?
We have an application for restricted active membership for Michael Pollock. It's approved by the department. He lives over at Cortina, still in school. I don't think there were any issues with anything.
Do the Rams have physicals?
High school, if I believe so.
Okay, so we would do approval pending physical? Okay, we have a motion for that. Malone,
Second.
LaPriest, seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so that pending physical. And then Deborah Davis for support member.
Did we have a motion?
Malone, LaPriest.
Deborah Davis applied for support membership. She actually asked about joining when she dropped off the donation check. She lives on Autumn Ridge. She's a retired librarian, I believe, from what I remember. And again, no issues with background checks or anything.
Motion to approve. Malone and LaPriest. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. I've added an agenda item here, the insurance renewals. We have quotes from the FIS and ESIP. I sent to the commissioners a comparison of the two. Briefly, the FIS quote for general property and liability coverage was very limited crime protection. The umbrella was 12 million. Does not include the new 2023 Ford Chiefs vehicle. In replacement cost, they use replacement cost instead of guaranteed replacement cost. ESIP, McNeil and Company, has a crime blanket of $3 million for each employee. So it's not limited at all in crime protection. Their umbrella is 18 million versus the 12 million with CFIS. The ESIP one does include the 2023 Ford, is guaranteed replacement cost, and something that ESIP prides themselves in is they do all their claims handled in-house. So the difference between the two quotes was $2,180. In view of the better crime coverage, the better umbrella coverage difference, and we see no compelling reason to change from basic. So, I would move that we continue our, general property and liability coverage with ESOP McNeil. Anybody want to second that? Like, sure, I seconds the motion. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now, the accident and health policies, presently we are with ESOP, and they include a member assistance program. VFIS does not. There's a difference of $357, and ESOP is low, even with the member assistance program. And with ESOP, we compared a lengthy disability, and ESOP on a 48-week disability, ESOP nets $80,000 per disability. And VFIS was $72,800. VFIS ends at age 70. VFIS does not, or ESOP does not. So we felt that, with the cost, we fully recommend the accident and health policy with ESOP. Then, the VFIS policy does have a higher death benefit. It has a $250,000 death benefit. Our present policy has $50,000. So the committee was asking if the board wanted to consider increasing the death benefit. And if you want to increase the death benefit, it would be an increase of $294 to bring it up to $100,000, an increase of $849 to bring it up to $200, and an increase of $1,125 to bring it up to $250. Right now, there's $6,000 budgeted in the line item. So we're just asking if you want to consider that increase, or if you want to leave it where it is. It's up to you. Any thoughts?
I would say it'd be beneficial if we increase it. There's a big difference with the ESIP at $31.88 for $50,000, and then the $35.45 for $250,000. So the VFIS is pretty high, going to be even higher, but it's got to be comparable to $250.
Can't hear you, Charlie.
I'll speak up, thank you.
Well, I think that, we're comparing the death benefit in the VFIS policy at $250. I think even if that was not higher, we felt that working out the 48 weeks of disability with ESOP, or with VFIS was $72,000. The 48 weeks with ESOP was $80,000. Plus that benefit ends at age 70. And we felt that was really problematic. So the committee is recommending ESOP, hands down. But do you want to increase the death benefit? Whatever, that's why increasing it to 100 would be an increase of $294. Increasing it to 200 is an increase of $849. And increase 250 is $1125. I think we should at least increase it to 100. What do you think, Diane?
I would like to leave it at 250.
Okay, Diane's likes 250. What do you think, Mike?
A minimum of 100, what do you think, Charlie?
I agree with Diane.
250?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to increase the detail parking?
Okay, so I would make the motion that we renew the accident and health policy with ESOP at the quoted price, but also increase the death benefit to 250,000.
Second.
Diane seconds that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. All right, so that's the insurance. Then taken care of. As we've talked about in some of the past meetings, we're working with paychecks for our financial, payroll, and so on. They're helping us write a new employee manual. And the service that we have signed up with them, they can also handle our health insurance and all the issues related to the health insurance for our staff. So the first step in that health insurance thing is that we have that, we turn that over and have them be our broker. Right now, we're dealing directly with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So we have to make paychecks our broker. So I felt that we really needed to have a understanding and a motion from the board to do that, and to move forward with that. Everybody okay with that? Somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Diane makes a motion, Shira seconds the motion. Okay. And that would authorize me to sign the paperwork to make them our broker. So another thing that I added to the agenda later today was Onondaga County has passed the assessment credit for the property assessment credit, the tax exemption for firefighters and ambulance workers. Onondaga County has passed that. Town of Lysander had a hearing the other night and they passed it. The fire district can also do this. So, I would, but we have to have a hearing first. So, I think that we should, if we want to move forward with that, we need to schedule a public hearing. We won't make it for March 1st, because March 1st is the magic date for this year. But,
Excuse me, but I don't remember hearing anything about that. I thought as long as we got the blessing from the town, that the members would be good to go to apply for it.
well, yes, for town taxes and for county taxes.
Okay,
But for the fire district taxes, we have to do our own.
okay.
So it would be a discount on top of the fire tax?
A discount from the fire.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But it's not going to happen this year because we can't get a public hearing quick enough to pass the resolution. But it's got to be understood that you get either the property tax reduction or you take the money, the credit on your income tax. Not do both. And generally, until the school district is involved, you're not going to get enough on the real property tax assessment reduction to offset the $200 you get on your income tax. Maybe when the school district gets involved and you get the county, the town, the school district, and the fire district, maybe then you'll get over $200, but, so don't mistake that, you know, and run down there for this exemption before you do the math.
There needs to be a document that goes out to the membership that explains it, because there's a lot of people who truly don't understand it, and it needs to be put in clear, plain English to everyone about what the discount is and what it can do for them. There may be a couple people who are living in $400 or $1 million houses that may get that discount, and it may be worth it. Those of us that live in poorer houses won't get it. But there needs to be something clearly provided out to the membership, and I don't see that happening at this point in time. And if March 1st is the deadline, then that has to go out to people. And it's probably not your responsibility, it's the department's probably responsibility, frankly. But there's such unclarity on it, similar to many other things, that will, I mean, as it is, from what I understand, life members and sport members got the email to go to the public hearing, but it had no bearing on them.
That's right.
And there was no reason for them to get it, because
I think that they wanted.
there was a misunderstanding.
I think they wanted support of the proposal. So, do we want to move forward as a fire district? If we do, we need to schedule a public hearing. And it's not really time sensitive right now because it won't be in effect for this year. But if we're gonna do it, we probably should move forward.
Do you have to have a separate public hearing, or are you able to add it to like a meeting like we did tonight?
Yeah. We had a public hearing and then we had the meeting. We can do the same.
Okay. I think since it gives the membership their choice, we should do the public hearing.
Okay. So you wanna make that motion?
Yes.
That, and I have I have the language here somewhere, Amy, on that we can, schedule the public hearing. Okay. This is the resolution pursuant, or whereas the new property tax law now permits enrolled firefighters throughout the state to be eligible to qualify. So what we'll do is we'll include this resolution in our minutes. And do you want to schedule that for, when's our next meeting?
March 20th.
March 20th, we'd have the public hearing at 6:45 and
Yeah.
yeah, okay. March 6:45. Okay, so that's,
Do we have a second?
oh, that's a good idea. Okay, second, anyone?
Second.
Charlie? Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Any more business from the board? So I would make the motion that we adjourn to executive session for the resume and employment history of an individual which may lead to his or her employment. So, Mike seconds the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we're moving to executive session.